Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Today we are recording group discussion 2. First and foremost, let's introduce ourselves. I'm FATIN Farhana binti MOHD, matric number 207884. How about you, Farhana?
Assalamualaikum, my name is Farhana binti Sulaiman. My matrix number is 207964, passing on to SERI IRDINA.
My name is SERI EDNA binti KHATA, matrix number 209093, passing to Sarah.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Farhana. My matrix number is 207805, passing to Natasha.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NATASHA binti KHUSAIRY. My matrix number is 205494. Passing on to NABILA, is it?
Hi, my name is NABILA binti AZIZ. My matrix number is 205238.
Okay, thank you. In the previous video, we had choose two global issues, which is COVID-19 and pollution. So today, we will discuss about the COVID-19 poem from group 1. So we will continue with the reciting poem. I will share the screen. Okay, so group 1 can continue to recite the poem.
So I'm going to recite the first two paragraphs, and it will continue with my other group mates. I'm going to read from the laptop because it's bigger. So 8 months. Came the great realization that COVID-19 was here, causing panic and fear, spreading from here and there. 8 months passing, days getting hazy. Life now seems so puzzling. Time feels slippery. Trying to catch up with what I'm learning, watching lectures from the screen again, and lectures on the red play button.
Understanding something is contentment. Remember, at home there's commitment. Being at home is not pure entertainment. In the doom and gloom of calamity, emerged the brighter side of humanity, that of compassion, where masks became the new fashion, and social distancing is the new norm for surviving the COVID-19 storm.
Maybe it is time for a change. Maybe we need to reset, readjust, restart, refocus ourselves, and learn to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. Pandemic is not an excuse to be panicked. Take the challenge and brave, as changing needs resilience and perseverance.
Alright, thank you, group 1. Okay, so now I will stop sharing the screen for a while. From this poem, what will we discuss about? What can we discuss about? Sorry. What do you think, Farhana?
Okay, so in my opinion, the title is 8 months, right? So it conveys the duration of COVID-19 or more specifically MCO in our country. So I think it's a very good title because it has a hidden meaning and we have to search for the relationship between the title and the poem.
Okay, thank you. Does the poem give any clues about the speaker's personality, the point of view, age or gender?
That's a good question.
I think, in my opinion, the poem doesn't give any point of view. So I think it's in third point of view. Do any of you guys agree? Or maybe you want to add more?
I think I want to add a little. I think what the writer is trying to tell us is that the struggle that everyone is facing during this pandemic, because in the second paragraph it says that watching lectures from the screen again, meaning that this whole pandemic does not only burden the people who are working. In fact, it also affects the students having to watch online lectures and having online class.
Okay, now let's move on to the meaning of the paragraph. Okay,
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Before we move on, I think based on Irdina's point just now, where watching lectures from the screen again, we can pinpoint that the writers is not a working adults, but more specifically a university student.
How about Nabila and
I agree with Sri Irdina and Farhana. This point about students, and it's about a new norm that we had to face and learn online classes.
Okay, Natasha, do you have anything to say?
I also agree with that statement because during this COVID-19, we have to learn how to adapt these situations because this situation, maybe we live in this situation for a longer time.
Okay. Can we discuss about the meaning of each stanza? What is the meaning for the first stanza? Do you have anything to say? Or we just move on to the next stanza?
Wait, for the first stanza, I think I can conclude that at the first month or second month of COVID-19 in our country, most of us are actually very laid back because we think that the virus is not going to attack or cause this much of a trouble for us. But and also the first line said came the realization. So it means that we have now realized that COVID-19 is actually more powerful than what we think beforehand, before the MCO ever applied to the country.
I think Farhana pretty much captures the meaning already.
So
So let's talk about the second.
we should move on to the next stanza.
I think for this stanza, because during COVID, like the time feels like it's not real in some way because we're just at home. There's no like distinction of events. Like there's like if we're at school, we have like difference like from Monday to Friday we go to college and then we go to class and then Saturday Sunday we stay at college like that. But during COVID, since everyone is at home, then time just feels like it's not real because every day feels like it's the same day like that. So I think that's what the writer is trying to say when she or he says that time feels slippery. And then trying to catch up with what I'm learning, I feel like the writer is more like a student and then trying to catch up with all the online classes and then watching lectures from the screen and then also from YouTube because it says your red play button, which I think is YouTube. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah. Any other opinion from any of you?
No,
No.
but I want to ask about implicit and explicit. There any explicit and implicit meaning?
I think the red play button is the implicit meaning because as Sarah mentioned, we didn't really know that what red play button means, but if we discover or maybe we observe more, it is actually YouTube. So I think that's very good, a very good wordplay by the writer.
Thank you.
Okay, can we move on to the next stanza?
I think I want to elaborate on the third stanza. I think what the writer is trying to tell us is that some people may think that being in this pandemic, staying at home means like we have a lot of free time, and it's that we can always commit to online classes and all that. But some people don't understand that when we're at home, we also have other responsibilities that we should carry, and such as helping our moms or settling houseworks and all that stuff. So that's why on the third line it says that being at home is not pure entertainment. So it shows that being at home doesn't really mean that we have a lot of free time. It also means that there are also other things that we have to do. It's not like we stay at home and we're always free. So we should be more understanding towards other people, not judge them by like, oh, you're at home, so you have a lot of free time. I'm at college, like that. So but so if you guys want to add, because that's from my point of view.
Yes, I agree with EDNA because when we are at home, we need to do house chores like washing dishes. It's a new commitment for us besides being a student.
Yes, I agree with Erdina.
How about Fatin, Natasha? Do you have any opinion or maybe you want to add more for the third stanza?
Can you repeat the question?
For the third stanza, what is your opinion for the meaning?
Okay. Okay. I think for the third stanza, during this pandemic, we also can spend more time with our family, because before this maybe we are too busy with our work, with our job, and during this quarantine we can spend more time with our family, doing house chores, like what Fatin Farhana said just now.
Okay, thank you, Fatin Natasha. So we will move on. Can we move on to the next stanza?
Yes.
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 Okay. For the next stanza, I think the poem said that must become the new fashion. So we need to go out wearing masks for everywhere we go and when we want to go out. So do you want to add anything?
I think in the first 3 lines, in the doom and gloom of calamity, emerge the brighter side of humanity and that of compassion. I think that is an implicit meaning because we can see from the earlier month of MCO, there's a lot of organization and also universities that gives out PPE and masks for our frontliners.
Yeah.
Okay, for the next stanza, do you have anything to say?
I think
I
stanza 4 and oh, you want to talk first?
never mind.
For stanza 4 and 5, I think they share quite the same meaning because it's about having to adapt to the new norm, such as wearing masks and then just restart and refocus ourselves and not making this whole pandemic as an excuse for us to do what we used to do before this. So if you want to add.
I think I agree with EDNA, because um, because we have to change our life into the new lifestyle, like what she said just now, wearing mask, use sanitizer, and keep social distancing. So it's not like before. So we have to uh, adapt in this new life.
I think I agree with Irdina because in the pandemic COVID-19, we have to uh, be in a new norm. So we cannot go outside freely like before and just stay at home to be safe, and yeah, that's all.
I think the fourth and fifth stanza is more hopeful. Like the whole poem seems like talking about the negative stuff. It's not really negative, but the bad stuff of COVID. And then the last two stanzas are hopeful, gives us hope and the importance for us to look at the bright side of COVID-19 and try to readjust the situation right now.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. So from the meaning that we discussed just now, can we give the message or moral value from this poem?
In my opinion, whatever happens to us in our life, we need to adapt. I think that's the message because if we don't adapt, we might cause a bigger problem to ourselves or maybe to our country. So, for example, when we are from a high school student to university student, we have to adapt the system of university in order for us to excel in our studies, right? So it's basically the same as this one. So Malaysian citizens should adapt to the new norm and also help our government fight COVID-19. That's what I get from this poem. How about everyone else?
Yes, I agree with Farhana. Since we need to adapt with the new norm like wearing masks. Okay, so can we conclude the discussion for today?
Yes.
Yes.
So today we are discussing about the first poem from the group 1, which is about COVID-19, and we get a lot of message, information, and as well as motivation, I guess. Okay, so I think that's all for this video. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fatin, for paneling or leading the discussion today.